What's up, YouTube? Common Sense Custodian coming back at you with a video here. And I gotta tell you, a guy popped on the scene a few months ago. You may know this guy. His family is an absolute legacy in this country, and that's RFK, the Kennedy family. And I tell you, I like him. I'm going to be totally honest. I really like him. One of the biggest things I like about him is how he's against the corruption. He's like, against especially big business corruption. I'm a capitalist, but I hate crony capitalists, right? Can't stand crony capitalism. Anybody who's watching the markets and seeing all this nonsense that they do with dark pools and this, I can't stand that. I can't stand these three-letter agencies, whether it's the FBI to the SEC, all of them, that are just completely corrupted by the agencies that they're supposed to watch, whether it's the EPA, the CDC, the FDA, the CIA, the FBI, the SEC is supposed to watch stocks, but who works at the SEC? Well, former Goldman Sachs and BlackRock members work there. So are they going to really police it? No. Same thing happens with the EPA, and there's corruption all over it. As a matter of fact, that's why I like Vivek so much, because he speaks about a reduction in these forces by 75%. And that's what this country needs. We got to get these unelected bureaucrats they're unelected, and the only thing they care about is their pocket, their wallet. That's all they care about, and they sell us down the river. They've been for years. That's why I like RFK, okay? Back to what I was saying. I really, really liked him in the beginning. He started to say a few things, though, that really, his values don't line up with mine, not that any candidate ever will, but it started to become more evident that he really is, way further to the left than I am. But I would be happy if he was president. Let me just say that. If he won, out of the left, out of all the choices, he's my number one choice. And I would be proud of him as a president because I know he would fight for us. But there's a question he was asked today that was one of the most simple questions, and I can't believe his hesitation to answer it. And we're going to get into it right now. Before we do, though, take a second, hit that subscribe button. We're building this channel back up to talk about issues that matter. Now, I'm not saying stocks don't matter. I enjoyed all the time talking crypto in the beginning, right? My channel's evolved over time. We talked crypto for a year. Then I moved over to doing stocks. You know what? I feel like this country is this close. Everything we hold dear is this close from being gone. And, this is what I want to talk about, right? So, hey, if you don't like it, that's cool, too. You make a channel. But for those of you who watch it, I appreciate you. We're going to get into this. So, let's go. So, Charlie Kirk asked RFK, and I'm going to play the video for you, completely stumped RFK when he asked who he would choose to be on the Supreme Court. Now, to me, it's a very simple question. Who, give us 10 or 1 possibilities. He froze like a deer in headlights. So presidential nominee says he can't answer that when pressed on if his views more align with Clarence Thomas or Elana Kagan. Now, independent presidential, he's an independent. He was a Democrat. Right now, he's independent now. And good for him for that. RFK sat down for an interview with conservative activist Charlie Kirk. He froze for 7 seconds. And I tell you, it's very awkward if you watch it. I'll play it in a second. When Kirk asked the 2024 hopeful to name a current, he once he couldn't answer, he said, well, just name a current or recent Supreme Court justice who lines up with your views. And he couldn't. Kennedy also wouldn't say if liberal justice Elana Kagan or conservative justice Clarence Thomas was more in line with his values. Independent candidate appeared stumped when asked by Charlie Kirk. And he really did. And it was an uncomfortable 7 seconds. I would say I'm going to appoint judges who reflect my values, Kennedy said. Kirk then asked the 2024 hopeful candidate to articulate those values. And what he articulated, I do agree with. I tell you what, let's not waste any time. Check out what he said.
So one of the things as president, obviously, you get to appoint Supreme Court justices. And the Supreme Court is more important than ever as a check and balance. Which current or recent Supreme Court justice is closest to your ideas or what you would appoint?
I couldn't answer that.
What?
I would say, I'm going to appoint judges who reflect my values.
But what are those values? Because President Trump has a list. To his credit, here are the 65 people. I mean, would it be more like Kagan or more like Clarence Thomas?
It would. I don't know. I wouldn't answer that.
But respectfully, you're running for president. The voters, that's a huge issue for voters,
But
especially when it comes to Second Amendment rights, abortion. Please
I
continue.
mean, I can tell you what the important issues for me are: free market capitalism, strong environmental protection, strong liberties, human rights, civil rights, bodily autonomy, and skepticism toward big business.
I share that.
And toward the corporate control of our country and a hostility toward corruption. So those are the issues. I'm not going to tell you.
But who's your favorite Supreme Court justice ever?
Ever.
Just one that you would say that you think did a good job.
Earl Warren.
Okay. So the Warren court that got rid of prayer in public schools.
Well, the Warren court that gave, I'm not going to, this is why I don't want to pick a particular
But you have
justice.
to, because voters vote on the Supreme Court.
Well, yeah, but I'm telling you what I would look for
fair enough. I'm just
in a justice, but I'm not going to endorse every decision. So if I can see, the trick here, which
It's
is
not a trick.
I name a judge, and you're going to pick a decision that I would not endorse. That's why I'm telling you that, I can tell you what I want, which is civil rights, liberties, free market capitalism, strong environmental protection, and a hostility to corporate corruption and corporate control of our government.
It's not a trick. You're running for president. So I have respect for you.
Yeah, but it's a trick to say endorse every decision by this particular judge.
Fair enough. I don't call it a trick. I'm just trying to understand, because these are questions voters have, right? Trump to his credit,
I'm very open and transparent about what I
are.
want, but I'm not going to pick a judge and endorse every decision that they've ever made.
Okay, but fair enough. So if you had judges lined up as president and one that supported affirmative action, would that be one that you would want?
It wouldn't disqualify him.
I don't know about you guys, man. That looked uncomfortable to me. Like it almost seems like he knew who he wanted this. This is my opinion, and this is what's great about this, right? This is what's great about America. You can voice your opinion, right? My opinion or my thoughts when I saw that was that he knew what he wanted to say, but he knows as an independent he needs to get a large, huge portion of conservatives on board as well as liberals. So he didn't want to, on Charlie Kirk's show that has way more conservatives watching it, say that he would be picking more liberal justices. And it almost looked like, but then he didn't want to say that and then anger the other side. So it's like he froze and didn't. I don't like that. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't like that. I want to know you're not answering me, or you're not answering the question, I should say, because you want a better result. I want to know you're answering the question because it's what you truly feel. Vivek is great at this. He doesn't care what he says, what's on his mind, and that's that. You don't wonder with Vivek if he really believes it or not. He'll say it even if it's bad for him. I like that. And Trump to also does that, except Trump will ramble on, which I wish he would stop doing that. I really am disappointed in RFK here. I would be proud to have him as president. I really would. I do like how he said that limit big business. He would, somebody who would keep an eye on that. That's good. But the body autonomy thing, that's good too. And I do believe it's not just for abortion. I believe he means that for maybe vaccinations also and other things. I think body autonomy is a good thing, but it's got to be for everything. It can't just be for abortion. You can't be like, oh yes, my body, my choice of abortion, but the vaccine, you better get it or you can't come to work. You're going to get fired and No. It's got to be for everything. That's it. So, and I do believe him on that. What do you think here? That bothered me. Just tell the truth is my thing. If you want to pick a liberal judge, that's okay. Just be honest. That was my gut feeling here. I'm seeing a lot of people talk about it on Twitter, that their gut feeling was similar to mine, that he wasn't being honest in that question. He didn't look like he didn't want to bother either side and almost just wanted to duck that question. He'll pick somebody who aligns with my values. Well, and then he started accusing Charlie of trapping him, kind of, which I don't think Charlie was, but maybe a little, but you got to be able to answer those questions. You're running for president here. Let's think, how would Vivek have answered that? Think about it. he would have, if, let's say Vivek was on a super far left podcast and somebody and Vivek said something, and they tried the corner, Vivek would, he'd run circles. He would know exactly, because he knows what he believes, and he says what he believes. That answer to me seemed like he was just kind of trying to dance the line of not bothering anybody, and I don't like that. I'd rather just know the truth. That's where I'm at these days. I just want to know the truth. What about you guys? Want to just know the truth? We've been lied to so much. Just want to know the truth. Thanks for watching, guys. I have another one coming. Merry Christmas. If I don't see you till then, I'll catch you in the next one.